SRU we have to worry about.
Just
later.
saying. Oh, I know. Is Brandon speaking tonight?
No.
Oh, now you might get out early.
Let CJ know when we get voted. You get back in there.
Yeah, that one's a tough one too.
Larry, you've played a lot of these fourth quarter minutes next to Jose. He had a pretty sweet feed to you for the one late in the game. What are just your thoughts on Jose's competitiveness in those important moments these past couple games here?
Without Jose, we would be a whole lot worse off. He is the spark plug to this team. Obviously we don't have I think CJ would tell you this himself, he's not a point guard. He's a combo guard, two guard. But Jose being a true point guard and coming in and running the team like the change of pace he brings for us is massive. These past few all season he's been I don't even know what his numbers are. I don't necessarily care because he plays bigger than his numbers. So Jose's got a fan in me, and he should have a fan in a whole lot more people. He should be getting more national recognition for just more than GTA.
How does having kind of the true point guard down there at times help the offense?
It just changes the tempo of things. Like obviously, it's CJ is such a threat to score from all three different levels, right? Whereas Jose is too, but to a lesser extent or to a different extent, right? CJ attacks and the whole defense is thinking like, shift to CJ, this one's going up because he can go get you 30 on a given night. Jose drives and the whole defense immediately is trying to turn their heads and find their guys because he's cooking up something, some guy cutting from the backside or finding me on the baseline, and that's where sometimes he just catches the whole defense sleeping and gets to his little wide open layups. Having those two as change of pace guards is invaluable to us, but again, Jose has got a massive fan in me.
Yeah, Coach said you guys said in the locker room, hey, welcome back, CJ McCollum. What was it like just to see him, doing what he does on the offensive end?
No, it was great. It was great. Obviously, CJ has carried such a load for us this season. Obviously, with BI had a concussion, Z missed a few games, Herb was out, and CJ's I think been the only one. Other than JV, CJ's been the only one that hasn't missed a game and been with us, every one. So you can see his legs getting a little tired and he was getting a little weary. But these 2 days off, really off. These 2 non-game days and just a little bit ago really helped him, find his legs again. And obviously, a game without Z or a game without B, like we're gonna need different guys to step up. And CJ answered that call tonight in a pretty big way.
Yeah, second straight game for you where you're making a big impact on the offensive end with your scoring. What's been the key, just, adding that to this team along with everything you're doing on the defensive end?
Look, I keep saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it again. My job is so easy. My job is so easy. All I got to do is put the ball in the basket. Like, catch, finish. I just get to go out there and do drill work pretty much. I'm serious. Like, Jose carves through the lane, drops one off to me, and it's me versus the rim. I better make that. Again, CJ, takes all the pressure off me, finds me in a pocket, and it's me versus the rim. To a certain extent, there are very few people I see, once I get 2 feet down in the paint. So these guards have made my job so easy. It's me versus the rim. I'm just doing drill work out there. So, it's nice to be in the scoring column like that. But again, that's credit to our guards.
I said there's small lineups and then there's Herb at the 5, Dyson at the 4 lineups. With Jose out there and obviously CJ and Brandon, what did you think of the job that group did for the 3-4 minutes they were out there?
I'm so glad you mentioned Dyson because Dyson was huge today. I think he out-rebounded me in 13 less minutes. Yeah, 13 less minutes, 9 rebounds, 8 defensive, where that's a spot that we're severely lacking. That's how you find minutes in this league. That's how you find minutes in this league is when you get your chance, you got to answer the call to whatever the team needs. And Dice did that perfect today. Hit the offensive glass, defensive glass, guarded his man, got a block. He earned himself some minutes today.
Larry, before Dyson came into the league, one of the players that he said that he really wanted to emulate was Lonzo Ball, a guy you played with in the past. Do you see some of those similarities because of the defensive rebounding, the pushing the ball ahead, the defensive ability? Do you see some of those comparisons as being valid?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I had never heard that, but that's very valid. You know, obviously, Zoe, I got to see him, you know, fresh out of UCLA, so getting to see Dice in the same position is that's a good one. That's a really good one. Obviously, like the way he, you know, defensive rebound. There was one play where, Dice I was boxing my man out. Dice flew up over top, and like I just looked back at him to tell him like, let's catch our breath for a second. I was tired, and he had already had it slung over his head to Jose down the court, and I'm like, all right, you know, I'll take the two, but let me get a break next time. You know, it's just that kind of basketball knack and instinct that you can't really teach. He's got all that and a nose for the ball. So, you know, there are a lot of teams in the league where he would be playing huge regular minutes for, and you know, it's just I think it's fortunate for him that he gets to go on this ride with us and learn in an environment that is gonna be conducive to competitiveness. So he's gonna get to learn on the fly with playing big minutes and big games like he did tonight. You know, this is something that is invaluable to someone in there early on.
Larry, you mentioned it was only you in the rim, but it seems like you caught another body tonight. And the guy, I think it's John Conchar, ended up in the front row of their teammates. So how do you feel about, you know, when these incidents happen and guys end up in the front row? How does that make you feel?
Look, for me, I never really get too high or too low. That's more so for the arena, for my teammates. Like I'm more so stressed out about guarding Ja on the other end. So, you know, it happened. You know, obviously, like I said, when I get 2 feet down in the paint, there's not a whole lot of people in the world that I even consider if they're in front of me or not. And again, I don't know who it was. I didn't take a look to see, but you know, these guys were all telling me that he rolled all the way to the bench, and I'm glad it hyped them up. I'm glad it hyped the arena up. But again, I was stressed about dealing with Ja on the other end.
Larry, when you guys play some of those smaller lineups and you switch a lot of the actions, you guys have done a really good job of limiting opponent three-point attempts. Mm-hmm. And is that a focus in when you're doing the switches, or is it just like a natural product of them forcing them to play one-on-one type basketball because there's a lot of switching?
Are you talking like when I get switched onto the ball, like if a lot of teams bring the centers up and it's me? Is that what you mean? Like, what's my focus when I get switched onto the guard? Well,
yeah, one, your focus, but two, just the units in general that are switching 1 through 5, essentially.
Yeah.
Are you intentionally trying to run people off the line in that case, or is it just naturally happen because of the switching?
I think it's certain people in certain situations. Certain people in certain situations. Like, obviously, like tonight, say Desmond Bane played, right? If I get switched onto him, he ain't shooting a 3. Right, you're one of the best shooters in the league. I'm making you get off the 3-point line to go, you know, to try to score in the paint, because you're not as good as that as you are at, you know, catching and shooting and whatnot. Whereas Ja, like when I got switched onto him, or when we got switched onto him, the game plan was a little bit to give him some space, because one, he's fast, he's lightning quick, and two, you know, he's still shooting 41% from 3 this year, but I'd rather him do that than go up with the right hand, switch to the left, and dunk on our low man. You know, I think it's very personnel driven. A lot of guys that we've been playing is we've been keyed up on keeping them off the 3-point line. So yeah, I guess that explains it, but it's very personnel driven.
And as the season's progressed, how do you feel your communication as a unit is coming along on the defensive end, and especially in the smaller units? No,
it's been great. The smaller units, you know, that's where I thrive. You know, that's where I thrive, is kind of barking out not orders, but talking out what's happening in front of me and who to go where, and keeping certain guys out of certain situations that I don't want them in. And so, you know, that's been, you know, guys have been great with it. Obviously, Jose is much more than just a pest, but he's awful to have on the ball for them. Same thing with Herb, same thing with Najee. So when we go to certain lineups, it's like, go ahead. Attack any one of us, and there's not a weak link out here. So, those small ball lineups are a lot of fun to play in, and I think we've got one of the better units in the whole league.
Thanks, Larry.
Sweet. Thanks, guys.
They joked with y'all in the locker room, with you in the locker room, welcome back. Did you feel like you were back?
Yeah, I've been playing like shit lately. I've been feeling like shit and shooting the ball really poorly, which is uncharacteristic. I'm normally not good at the other things, but I can always shoot. So that was frustrating, just not being able to help my team the way I wanted to, but also not just having the energy and not feeling great. Codeine really kicked in for me these last couple of nights and helped me sleep and recover. But I just focus on the work, just focus on the process of doing what I do consistently every day. And you're going to make shots, you're going to miss shots. But if you prepare how you're supposed to, you're generally going to have success in the long run. And I think my track record speaks for itself and how I work and how I perform when I'm called upon. So it's nice to see the work translate. And now, as the saying goes, you just keep swimming. Just keep working on your craft. Chop wood, carry water, and I try to help the team the best I can.
18 threes for you guys as a team. Is there anything you can point to why the offense got flowing tonight?
We moved the ball well. I tried to make sure I was passing early in the game, especially in the first quarter. Early, easy passes, hit the pocket. Try to get the ball into the paint, get it to the weak side, find guys, and hopefully it becomes contagious. I thought we pushed the ball well in transition. I thought we did a good job of not hesitating. A lot of times guys are turning down threes, they're trying to cut, and it messes up our spacing. They just got to, take what's there. And I think tonight we took what was there. And it shows that a lot of guys get the extra time in, they get their PD development work. They focus on shooting, they focus on certain areas of the court and being better. And I think tonight they took advantage and didn't second guess themselves.
And Ja had a couple highlight plays through those first three quarters.
He did.
But what was the key to slowing him down in the fourth the way you guys did?
I think we just wore him down. Jose picking him up full court, us trapping him, mixing up coverages. He still shot 50% from the field, finished a lot in the paint, and got to the free throw line probably too many times. But he's a tough player, hard to stop. He gets downhill. He's got great change of speed, and I think last year he led the NBA in points in the paint, probably the first time ever for a guard. So that kind of shows you how much he attacks. But credit us for making it difficult, and credit him for still figuring out a way to get 30.
And just what did you think about the way Dyson was able to come in and make an impact in the game the way he did?
Yeah, he just plays hard, man. He does all the little things. Look at it, plus minus 13. Great for us down the stretch. Rebounded. He had more rebounds than Larry. Larry's got to rebound the ball more. I hope he's watching this. He was aggressive. He made some great passes, some great plays, and defensively he was locked in and engaged, and showing why he was drafted so high.
Was there a moment for you, either pregame or in the game, where you kind of felt like yourself again, or did you know kind of coming in after 2 nights of rest that you were, feeling kind of, back to normal?
No, I had coach gave me a day off the other day, told me to rest. I was just feeling bad, man. I got a viral infection and stuff. You probably heard it in my voice. Got some meds, took some vitamins, got to kick it with my son. My wife, I got back from out of town and went to the gym at night like I normally do. Got some work in, and then, just kind of focused on the stuff that I felt like I wasn't taking advantage of. Like, I'm a really good catch and shoot guy, and I wasn't really making catch and shoot. I was making the tough shots and missing the easy ones, so I just wanted to put more of an emphasis on shot discipline. I called my brother, and he was like, "You need me to come down there and show you how to real number 3 shoot?" And he was very disrespectful. But I think the funny part is, he's right. You got to be who you are. You focus on the work, and I think I wasn't as disciplined as I needed to be in my shot in the games. Like, I was putting my hands down. I wasn't consistently releasing the ball the way that I needed to. So I just had to get back to the basics and just trust the work. And tonight, the ball fell. Now you just got to keep repeating the work, and then the success will come in the game.
And more to kind of the Dyson part, what did you think of the Dyson, Herb, Jose kind of lineups that you guys were using there in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, coach has been doing a good job of mixing and matching lineups. Those guys give us great energy. Jose's been great all season. His shot has obviously improved. I think he was shooting 42% from 3 coming into tonight, 46 from the field, getting downhill, pushing pace, pushing tempo. Dyson gives us a ability to switch a lot. Najee was great defensively. active. Obviously Larry's been great finishing games for us and giving us that versatility. We have a pretty good chemistry, driving dishes, and when he's finishing around the basket and playmaking for us, we're very hard to beat.
And just how important is it to be able to have those guys you can bring in from the bench in the fourth quarter and make the impact defensively the way they have consistently in the fourth quarter, whether it be Jose or Larry, those other guys?
Yeah, they've been carrying us during this stretch where I was shooting like a toddler. They were plus, pretty consistent. Plus minus, they were basically carrying us. The starters would be down 5, down 6, down 7. They would come back in and get us the league. So I think we got to do a better job, getting off the better starts. I think we got off to a better start today against a tough team, but we can't dig ourselves in a hole and expect them to bail us out consistently. So we have to do a better job.
Coach Willie talked about how a lot of the units that played today had multiple ball handlers on the floor. Yourself, Jose, Dyson. What kind of advantage does it give you when you have guys who can put the ball on the floor, maybe all 5 of y'all?
Well, it just allows us to make quicker decisions, 0.5 actions to where it could drive and kick. I think I got a couple easy trades off of just guys driving, collapsing the defense, and then kicking it out. And I think it's just the decision making. Guys that can make quick decisions, shoot it and drive it, pass it. And then the next guy can do the same thing and create an advantage. When you can get closeouts, you can get rotations, creates a better advantage for us. And then you got to be able to make the right decision at the end of the shot clock.
This may be the second game that Willie has switched essentially Devontae and Jose's minutes, especially in the fourth quarter. When on the court with you and just particular Jose, he slips a lot of the screens and he'll get those shots. How does it feel to have, just him in particular, to have him on the court with you? That way you guys can, play off each other.
I see the work, and I told him, I was like, just focus on the process and don't worry about makes and misses in the game. If you work, how you're supposed to. You work on shooting in certain spots. You build your confidence through reps. It'll show in the game, and I rewarded him. He's rewarded himself, and he's smart. He understands that, sometimes it creates an advantage, for us offensively if he can run and slip out, and then he has the ability to either shoot or drive it. And I think tonight he did that, and he's done that throughout the season.
Have a good one.